or TV series produced specifically to promote pro cheerleaders and alum. I'm your host, Austin Jordan, and tonight we are going to have a little bit of a different show. It's going to be super fun, but first I'm going to introduce my lovely co-host that is back after her little 2-week vacation hiatus where she partied like a rock star for 2 weeks, Miss Selina Samano. Hey, Selina, what's up?
Hey, Austin. Thank you so much for the introduction. And hi, everybody. Thank you for watching. As Austin said, I'm really, really glad to be back after 2 weeks. I had a very hectic 2 weeks. We backtracked a little bit. I mean, the show still kept going, and we had great guests. But as for me, I had to watch from Texas and then from Puerto Rico. I had an especially crazy past couple of weeks because, as most of you may or may not know, I am back for my 3rd season with the Cincinnati Bengals as a Bengals cheerleader. So I'm very excited. We just finished auditions, and I am especially happy to be back because this was actually my first show as being a cheerleader coming into the show, and also I get to kind of chat, hang out, and be funny and silly with one of my cheer sisters. So glad to be back.
Yeah, I bet that watching from Puerto Rico just had to be absolute murder on you, Selena. I'm sure.
Excruciating, Austin. Excruciating. The sun was so hot.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've seen the bikini pictures. We've seen the bikini pictures. You've been sharing them a lot. We see them.
And video footage.
Anyway, so now that we've kind of got a little bit of an introduction, I'd like to introduce, she is a Cincinnati Bengals cheerleader alum. She is an amazing choreographer. She has pretty much devoted her life to cheer and dance. So without further ado, she goes by T. So if I screw this up, we're just going to call her T, okay? Anyway, the one and only Miss Teresha Howard.
Hello.
So Teresha is happy to be here. She didn't say much, but hey, she partied like a rock star. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody.
Okay, anyway, so Teresha, we just now kind of gave you a little intro about you're huge in the cheer world and choreography and dance, and we want to get into all that sort of stuff. But if you would, just to kind of backtrack a little bit, tell everybody kind of your background before you became an NFL cheerleader. Were you into dance, hip-hop, freestyle, ballet, or any of that stuff well before that, which I'm pretty sure we all have a safe assumption here what the answer is going to be. So if you could just tell us a little bit about that.
Hey, I might surprise you. You never know.
True.
It actually started, I'll tell you guys, like, this isn't when it officially started, but my mom did put me in ballet when I was in elementary school. I could not fit the attire. Like, I used to have to walk around with my arms up like this because I was too short to, like, fit the actual... nothing fit. So I didn't really enjoy dance at that time. But when I turned 12 or 13, I got back into it at like a community center. And we kind of just learned African, modern, anything, hip-hop, everything. We just learned everything. And that's how I got into dance. I didn't pay thousands of dollars for technical training. I just kind of got into it at a younger age and just loved it and got into cheer more and did kind of both. So.
Did you cheer in high school or any kind of organized cheering before that?
I did in middle school, but just like for 1 year. And so after that, it was just kind of dance. And then I got on a all-star team. It was kind of cheer dance all-star team. And that's kind of where I just kept going and had the mix of both.
Cool.
So T, I'm going to kind of cut in because for me, I mean, I've never danced with you, T. I've never performed with you, but I've always known of that, and I've always been able to call you my cheer sister. And, I think we talked about that earlier this week. It's like it's something about being part of the cheer community that kind of makes the sisterhood what it is. So knowing what I know about you and you being my big sister, of course I want you to talk about all of the extensive pro cheer that you have under your belt because this woman is phenomenal. So if you could just kind of tell everybody a little bit about what you've done.
She's so sweet. Okay, Selena knows I struggle with talking about myself. I'm gonna have a breakthrough today, I guess.
So you didn't know this is a live online intervention just for you.
Yes.
I
needed it, I guess. I actually, there was an AFL team, arena football, in Kentucky where I'm from, actually. And my sister urged me to go try out. They set auditions on, I guess it was auditions on the radio, and I literally just took off and went, and I wasn't prepared. I just found out that day, and she was like, go, it's open, it's to the public, go now. So I ran and did auditions, and magically enough, I made it. I don't know how. I didn't think I was. But I did, and it's kind of went from there. So I did that, and then they allowed me to kind of choreograph on that squad. And then the team was called the Horsemen. And some of the girls, I actually met some of my future Bengal sisters on that team because some of the girls actually went up to the next level to the NFL and tried it out. So, then I was like, okay, I guess I'll do this. But, it took me a while. I got a little scared. I had to talk myself into it. It took me a couple of years before I really had the nerve to go up the next level. And so I did that, and I've kind of I would go back and choreograph for them, and then I would I did the Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati has an AFL team. I was lucky enough to do some choreography for them, and also, and then the Bengals, oh my God, they're awesome. They let me choreograph as well, so, which, as you know, I still I'm the cheerleader that won't go away. I kind of pop in every now and then and teach choreography.
No, you're the guest choreographer.
They're like, when will she leave?
No. We don't want you to go away.
Then there was just recently there was another AFL team that developed in Lexington, and I was lucky enough to be a choreographer for them as well. So I kind of just creep in where I can, and whoever will let me show my talent, then I'm there. So.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you got to be awfully talented just to kind of walk in off the street with a limited amount of dance experience and just say, hey, I'm going to be a pro cheerleader, and they're like, well, sure, why not? You're awesome. With that being said, so there's obviously a big difference between the AFL, the tryouts and the cheerleading and all that. You obviously got into the choreography side, but just looking at the cheerleading side, what kind of differences were there between the AFL cheerleading and the Bengals cheerleading?
With the Bengals, of course, it's a much longer game, as you all know. You can go to arena football game, you'll probably be there 2 hours, as opposed to NFL, you're there for maybe 4. And our days are definitely not as long. So we get there maybe a few hours and rehearse. But as far as actually the game and performing, we would perform on the side. There was just 2 sides. You have your field, and we're at the end zones, and that's where we cheer. That's where we would dance, and we would come out for actual quarters, just like the NFL, but we were by ourselves. We weren't in a group dancing. We were just dancing singly, and on each line. So it was just it was very different. But we did do halftime routines, which the Bengals don't do as often. So we would always do a halftime routine. So that was kind of different.
What about the tryout process? I mean, obviously you heard a radio ad for the AFL and went, and I mean, I don't know anything about what the tryout process would be in the AFL versus we've talked to a lot of people that have told us about the NFL. So what's kind of that AFL process like?
It's not as long.
Going back to the well on that one.
Not as long. I did that for 4 years. So what we would do is it's literally you go in and do everything in one day. Tryout. Mm-hmm. It's not a long, drawn out process. They would do clinics just like the NFL does to prepare you, but you basically just go in and they kind of make cuts. And as they're making cuts for technique and everything, you kind of just know. And we learned, I think it was it differed. I think we got an email one year. One year we found out the same day. So, I mean, preferably I'd rather find out the same day if you're kicking me or I'm like, just let me know now because I can't take it. So, but yeah, but the NFL, of course, it's a lot more drawn out, and they're very meticulous with how they pick the girls. It's definitely more detailed with what they're looking for. I mean, you may find something you like, and if I think it's better for girls if it takes a little bit longer process, because it gives the directors more time to get to know you a little better, so instead of everything in one bunch. Yeah. I mean, you can kind of try to win them over if you're lacking a little bit, but.
All right, so now we've shed the secrets there and aspiring AFL cheerleaders. That's awesome. All right, so you're obviously a Cincinnati Bengals alum. So we'd be remiss if we didn't bring up the elephant in the room, or in 3 different states' rooms here. The recent lawsuit by one of the Bengals cheerleaders, and not just that, because obviously we don't want to focus on just one thing and make anybody look bad, because that's not what Beyond the Pom Poms is about. But just all the lawsuits in general, and just kind of your general opinions and take from it. If you just share your feelings on everything. So just have a moment, talk for a minute.
Okay. No. No, but in all seriousness, I'm just going to state my opinion. I don't know what's going on in each lawsuit. I'm not familiar with them. I mean, of course, I'm not even familiar with what's really going on with the Bengal lawsuit. But speaking on just what I'm seeing as far as the Bengal lawsuit, I'm just kind of seeing that people are trying to get more money for the cheerleaders, which is a great thing because it's needed and wanted. But my opinion as far as how to go about it would be different. If you want to get paid more money and you say this is a job and it's hard work, which it is, they say it's part-time, but you literally are working your butt off. It feels like a full-time job. But I feel like my way I would have went about it was get everyone to sign some paper, get a representative for you, go into the office and ask for a raise, list exactly everything that you're worth and what you bring to the organization and what they get out of you, and then you go about it that way. The way that it's going about, and here's another thing, some of these lawsuits, actually, I see that there are really big problems. But as far as anyone wanting just money and more money, there's different ways to go about it. Because here's what's going on. We're losing cheer squads, which in return makes it hard for girls to find dance. Because, of course you have that avenue for ballet, but what if you're not a ballerina? Okay, you have that avenue to be in videos, but what if that's not even near you, or you don't have the opportunity to travel to where that is? This creates an avenue for girls who otherwise wouldn't be able to dance. They would just be in their house dancing. And, I think it's unfair because, you're losing a lot of organizations that are beneficial not only to the women. Let's take the cheerleaders out of it, but we visit hospitals. We visit homeless shelters. We visit all of these places. I'm really big on charity, so it's a passion of mine, and it kind of frustrates me that these things won't be happening now. Now, of course, you can do this stuff on your own, but, it means so much more to these ailing kids, these ailing adults, these people that are struggling. It gives them hope, and, for the cheerleaders to take their time out, it just means something. The girls are ambassadors of these teams, and I feel like a lot of teams do know their girls' worth, but, it just is frustrating to see because it wasn't done maybe the way it should have been done. I feel like there's steps you take, and then you go to that level. And don't go straight to that level. And I feel like it's kind of just turning into this big thing when I know what they mean is well for the girls to get more money, but there's so many other avenues you could have taken instead of just going directly there. This is not directed to anybody that actually has serious issues in the workplace, but this is just me speaking on wanting more money. So that's just how I feel. It's just taken away. I think people are kind of not thinking of the bigger picture and what the job actually is. So.
Well, I, for one, appreciate that insight, and that's completely a different view than a lot of things that we've heard. So I really appreciate that. So, Selina, if you would, can we talk about something a little less serious, Selina?
Yeah.
What do you got for us, Selina? Let's do something
I did
more positive.
I did want to add, I think that what T covered is pretty much, she hit the nail on the head. I think Lauren and I had kind of touched upon that. It's a really great opportunity, and to, as T says, to take it there is almost to deprive other up-and-coming girls from an experience that we've enjoyed for as long as we have. Yeah. So, and speaking of enjoying things and having these amazing memories as professional cheerleaders, T, why don't you talk a little bit about your fondest memories being a professional cheerleader?
Oh my gosh, like literally, it's no joke. Best time of my life. Best time of my life. Can I say 3? Because
anything you want.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Okay. It's your world. It's the T's world today. Go ahead.
Living it.
Okay, so the first one. Okay, and this is kind of an inside joke in our little, locker room. You can kind of ask Deanna, the coach, like what happened, but people laugh at me for this memory, but it meant something at the moment. Okay,
I think I've heard it.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Okay. Okay, so the first one that's really important, it wasn't really making the team trust me. That was like, I just really didn't believe I made the team because, as you know, you have to pretty much compete for a spot on the field every single practice for every single game. And so I never really felt like I was going to be on the field. I was just like, well, I'm an NFL cheerleader. I'll be in some pictures. Okay, somebody will know. But like my moment happened when I actually I made the field, and like we were in the tunnel about to go out. They were about to announce us. They were about to go out, and I just started bawling. I was like, oh my God. And then like Deanna, she was like the head captain at the moment. She's like, what's going on? What's wrong? What's going on? And I'm like, I'm just so happy. I mean, the look she gave me was like, are you serious? I really thought something bad had happened. But I was so excited. I literally was crying all my makeup off and
oh, that's a great first impression on the field, right?
I know. I was like, sorry, just happy. And then like another one is definitely being able to be a captain. That was freaking amazing. That was never a goal. That was never anything I thought I could really attain, was to help lead the girls. Like, it was huge for me, and one of the most amazing moments. I remember everything that happened. I literally thought they were going to announce a girl that was sitting right next to me. Like, and so when I got announced, I cried again. So I guess I'm the crier of the team. But and then last but not least was going overseas to support the troops. That was freaking amazing, and I will never ever forget that. And I mean, going with my sisters, it was just amazing. So I mean, there's so many moments, but that's definitely my fondest moments right there.
So as you can see, I mean, you can hear from everything that T is saying, she's just such a wholesome and such a good-hearted person. And T, something that you said earlier this week, and just letting everybody know, T and I had a little date. I had a date with her son.
Yeah, she did.
He's 2 years old, and T felt the need to come chaperone us. I can't imagine why. So I had the pleasure of spending time with T and baby Heath. But
she's climbing up the wall, and you let
her. And she's like, yeah, do it.
I'm a child spoiler, so don't.
So bad.
Oh, goodness.
Something that you said that really stuck to me is like, it's the way your entire outlook and the way you approached the entire situation was really great. So I guess I want to think that professional cheerleading had something to do with that. So do you think that being a cheerleader molded you into the woman you are today?
I will say it helped a lot. Like, I've always been very silly, and I've always been completely 100% there for people at all times. I just love people. But it did help me to be a more professional woman. It helped develop me to where I can speak on multiple platforms. I mean, it's really developed me into a better woman and even a better person. You learn so much about yourself going through this and what your limits are, and that you can actually surpass your limits. So it's an amazing process, and it does so much for you. And I learned how to do makeup. That was horrible, but yes, it does so much for you. It really does. Any woman that's blessed enough to be an NFL cheerleader, I'm sure they will come out with an experience being better, or learning something from it that's positive. There's no way you can't.
Yeah. So T, we've talked a little bit about all your dance experience. We've talked about the pro cheerleading, but I know from talking to you that you have a lot of great things on the horizon that I think have stemmed through cheerleading. You have a ton of great choreography, a ton of great dance stuff on your resume, and you have I'm not going to talk about it, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So I'd love for you to just
she's fishing.
I'd love for you to practice what we talked about, and you're going to go ahead and talk all about yourself.
I love the coaching. Like, we're going to do this, okay?
Yes. This is a very hands-on exercise, so I want you to tell everybody what's going on in the life of T, and what great projects you have right now.
I know one thing is I'm doing a class which you're coming to, right?
Yes.
I'm doing a hip hop class in Ohio, June 6th, June 9th. Wait, I have to look. Is it June 9th, I believe. June 9th at 7 p.m. in Loveland. It's at what's that place called? I have to look because I have mommy brain. Broadway Bound Dance Academy, but that's going to be my first class ever really stepping out of Kentucky, so I'm excited about it, and I have a lot of Bengals that are supporting me, and so I'm definitely doing that. And also, one of the big things that just happened for me, speaking of networking, is I got it through the director, who is actually an NFL cheer alum, and she's not even from the Bengals, but that's how tight-knit that is. But I am now the official choreographer for the Miss Ohio United States pageant. So that'll be coming up in 2 weeks. So I'm super excited about it, and I hope to help their production be amazing. So and I work for this amazing company that allows me to work from home, which is awesome. It's called Pro Time Dance and Cheer. And another amazing thing about the cheer alum, my boss, hi Heather, she is actually, she just stepped down from being the director of the Arizona Cardinals cheerleader. So this is her company and her baby, and she actually is taking it nationwide. So I'm one of the head instructors over the Kentucky and the Oklahoma area. So I'm actually very excited about that, and this opportunity is amazing. You guys really need to go look on, I have to plug, okay? You have to go like the page, Pro Time Dance and Cheer on Facebook. This is an organization that is led by NBA, NFL dancers, current and alumni, and they help get girls ready, at all ages, though, from 4 and up. So it's not just something that helps the girls that are going into it right now, but the future cheerleaders. So hopefully everything gets worked out so there is a future for these ladies. But yeah, definitely helps out that, and it helps with nutrition, your self-esteem. It helps with everything, and dance as well, and technique. I love it. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about dance. I love it. But definitely go on there and like it.
Now, I have to say, off the air, before we came on here, she's sitting here and she's talking. She's like, I really can't self-promote. I'm going to have troubles with that. And look at us now. We get on live. The cameras start rolling. I turn
Selena
into a
made
zombie,
me.
and she turns into a marketer. This is awesome. All right, anyway, Selena, back to you. I just had to say that. That's funny.
Yeah, I made you, T, just like I made
Selena made me.
climb the walls. Like I climbed the walls. Don't blame everything on me.
She did.
There you go, people. Live TV. See, isn't this fun? Okay. Anyway, all right, Selena. What else you got for us over there?
Yeah, you're talking about all these like really positive things. You're doing so much to help the prospective girls, coming through the pipeline to get to fulfill their dreams in dance, which I think is so awesome. So if you could, let's say you're having a conversation with these young girls who want to follow your same footsteps. What advice would you give to them?
Wow. Okay. Not to give up, correct? Yes. Okay, so main thing is set your goals and you will be able to attain them. Set your goals, know exactly what you need to do to reach that goal because it's not just going to happen overnight. It's not just going to happen off the wing. I mean, sometimes it does, but for longevity, you have to be able to hone your skills, be able to look at what they want and go for it. Present your package as much as you can to where it's 100%. Don't slack on any area, and just give it all you got. That's all you can do is give it all you got, and I promise you'll succeed. And if anything, you'll definitely succeed in your own mind of things that you never thought you could do, and you'll go past that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry.
So T, we're talking here, we've talked a little bit about your work, we've talked about your personal life, you have a lot of great stuff on the horizon for you. How do you make it all work out for T?
That's funny. I was telling Austin offline how, I'm a mom and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do everything at home. So everything's just kind of coming at once, and it's crazy. But I was telling him, like, I was trying to do my hair, and my son's like, pick me up. No, you will not do your hair. You will not look okay for this show. I said, okay, because, yeah. But it's like, you will not look good. Let's just hold me. And so I'm like literally 5 minutes trying to do my hair and hold him to give him time. But I honestly have gotten so used to it. I don't even realize like where I'm coming and going. I just kind of make it happen. And I also have like, my husband is amazing. Like, he does everything. If I ever need something, he's on it. He's so supportive, and whatever I need, he makes sure that I get it. So it's like, when you have that partnership, it's amazing. Like, so he literally, as we speak, he's like taking my son out to enjoy the weather. So mommy can do what she needs to do. But yeah, he's definitely amazing, and I really couldn't do anything that I'm doing right now without him.
And I have to interrupt the show there on that note, talking about your personal life and your husband. We have to send a special shout out to him. Because it's Memorial Day weekend and he is in the Armed Forces. I don't know if we want to say what branch he's in, but we definitely want to say thank you to everybody in the Armed Forces on Memorial Day weekend. It hits everybody at home, and it's wonderful that we could have such a special guest that it hits in her immediate home, which is T here with us tonight. So T, we do greatly appreciate your husband for taking the little one out and for his service and letting you do all this. So.
Thank you. I'll make sure to let him know, which I'm sure he's going to watch. So,
yeah.
But thank you very much. He's.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Selina, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. You were on a roll there, and I stopped it.
Having met Jamal, I can attest to everything that Tia is saying. He is amazing. They are just a fan.
Thank you. Thank you. We love you, and so does my son.
Good. Oh man. So I'm going to go ahead and state the obvious, T. You have this amazing positive outlook on life, and it's so contagious. So it's like, what you talked about having your great support system, but what's that internal drive that keeps you going?
Honestly, my faith. I can't say, some people say they have like the best bringing up and everything. I can say that, we've had ups and downs as growing up and as kids, me and my sister. So it's like literally you have to have faith in order to get anywhere. And, you can't give up. You got to know there's going to be a rainbow one day through the rain. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. Maybe not next week. But there's going to be a rainbow. And all you have to do is literally just have faith and keep believing things will get better, and it really will. And when you rain positivity, it comes, it helps you grow. It really does. That was my random saying. I say stuff like that randomly all the time. But literally, it's faith. That's all I can say. It's faith. It's an amazing deal.
No, it's not random. I think it's right on, T. So I'm gonna derail, and I'm gonna bring us I'm gonna try to bring us back to cheerleading for a bit. So, what?
I said, oh, whoops, did I do that?
I know.
So, we're in the heat of NFL cheerleading auditions. So, each show we kind of talk about a little bit of the myths that exist about, professional cheerleaders. So what's one of the myths that you've heard that you'd really like to bust today?
Okay, so I know I've seen the show, and I know that, you hear the same thing of the girls that they all are professional women. They're all intelligent. They're educated. Yes, we know. And I think the world's starting to know that now. But I don't know if this has been said yet, but another one. We do not join the team to date or marry players.
You're
Okay.
forbidden to go in the locker room, right?
That can't even go in the locker room. Okay, that is a strong myth that is wrong. And also, we have a contract. We are not allowed. There's no fraternization. I'm going to touch on one that many people don't want to talk about. Many people think, oh, that's not a big deal, but this is important. And I want you guys to listen good, okay?
I think she needs her own show. I love it. All right, let's hear this.
You all need to listen good to this one. Women that are NFL cheerleaders, do not expect them to look like that after they have children.
Oh.
It didn't happen unless you are in fitness. It's not right.
Oh, I somehow knew this was coming.
There. Women don't think you're supposed to look like that. You're not.
T, I'm going to have to interrupt because we had an alumni event last year where we had over 300 alumni, and everybody looked good. So,
yeah, right? I know, right? It's ridiculous. But they all have their own complaints. They're like, oh, no, and you're looking at them like, seriously? Seriously?
Fabulous. Yes. I think, you know what? I saw a quote online that talked about, it was a picture of an NFL cheerleader. She was wearing her NFL cheerleading boots, and it said, "She who dons these boots will forever remain fabulous." So don't forget that, and I don't want to hear anything about my post-baby self because you're fabulous and you know it. I don't know how many
oh God.
Tell you.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'm gonna tell on her here. She was talking about before we came online. She was like, I keep looking at the scale, and it's like, she's thinking about, I'm not gonna make weight this week for the team, so I have to tell on her for that one because that was just too classic. So sorry about that. I didn't mean to tell on you.
It is. I'm struggling. I'm like, no, you look great, and then I'm like, well, don't get on the scale if you want to keep that mentality. Don't even look at it.
Oh goodness. Oh man, that was too funny.
Such a mess.
All right. Anyway. Okay, I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, okay.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, since we're still on the topic of NFL cheerleading, and auditions are going on left and right. And T, you were actually at our Bengal auditions, which I was so happy about. But I guess because you were helping with the auditions, so you kind of get a look at what the contestants look like. You get a feel for what the judges are looking for. And you, having been a captain and having experience, you know what it takes to be an NFL cheerleader. So could you give advice to anyone who's watching who maybe didn't make the cut this year?
Okay, I'm going to give honest advice.
Yes, please do.
I feel you need to, and this is as a whole, this is even for veterans, it's coming back, you know, this is a whole. Don't just come in thinking you having a PhD or having the highest level of education is enough. Don't come in thinking you being the most beautiful girl in the room is enough. Don't come in thinking whether younger or older, it's going to be good enough because they'll look at your age and be like, oh, that's good for her age. Don't come in thinking I have the best technique, so I don't need anything else. You need a full package. If you get to 100% as much as you can in each department that they're looking for, be kind. Be kind. Be genuine and have manners. You know, I'm just, from things I've seen, things I've, you know, look at not just on Bengals but other teams, I'm the full package. Don't think one thing is good enough. Strive to be the best in everything, and you will succeed. And that's for veterans, for rookies coming in. You know, if you do what you're supposed to do, you know, don't slack in any department. You will be successful. And that's it.
I love that philosophy. I came up with a little thing, DBWA. You may have seen it somewhere. It's Dream, Believe,
I heard
Work,
you
Achieve.
say it. I heard you say it.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Positive, so that's kind of my curse. I'm positive to negative thing. But I have to point out, whenever Selina was asking you that question, she was like, you know what they're looking for. Did you notice her finger there? We can play this back. I just want to, you know, she's pointing to her face there, going, yeah. So anyway. All right, so well, all right, well, Teresha, you know, this has just been an absolute blast. We had a blast before we got on here. We had a blast, you know, while we're on here. If you would take a moment to kind of self-promote, because we obviously want you to get back to your family, especially considering it's Memorial Day and who knows what they're doing. But I'm sure he's not climbing. Your 2-year-old's probably not climbing up a wall right now.
Probably driving my car.
that would be Selina, right? Okay, but yeah, just take a moment if you would, and just kind of self-promote, you know, kind of tell everybody where they can find you. We know you're kind of new to Twitter, so, you know, throw some things out there other than what you've already thrown out there, or throw that stuff out there again. There's nothing wrong with being repetitive, so please.
Oh, of course I will. Of course I will. You guys have shown me the way. Okay, so... Of course, on Facebook, you can go to the company I work for, Pro Time Dance and Cheer, and we can do clinics, whatever you need. And also, my hip-hop class is coming up, and for all you Ohio people, you can get on my Facebook, yeah. And you can go to Facebook, T. Howard, T. What? Yeah, I had to write this down, you guys. I don't know. And you can go to Facebook and go to t.howard.believe. And that's also, you can go to Twitter. And it's the same thing there, right, guys? T.howard.believe. So you can find me on all of those. And I definitely love hearing from people and getting jobs through that. So...
All right. Well,
look for those for updates and everything. That's it. I'm done with the shameless promotions.
Oh, no shameless. You can't be shameless promoting when you're asked. Now, me on the other hand, I'll shamelessly promote, but hey, I get paid to do it, so you know. Anyway, Selina, since you're back, and it's so great to have you back. You know, I know I've congratulated you offline multiple times and online about being in your 3rd year as a Bengal. You know. We look forward to hearing some of your fun stories that you're permitted to share. But in the meantime, we'll take a moment to kind of plug and self-promote yourself there as well, and let everybody know where they can find you and follow you and all that fun stuff.
Sure. So you can find me at Selina Samano on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/SSS Samano. Did I get it right this time?
You got it right this time. I love it.
And for any team-related updates, you can always see CincinnatiBengals.com/cheerleaders. So again, I just wanted to say, T, thank you so much for coming on the show. You know, one thing that you talked about, which really resonated with me, was about the sisterhood, about with NFL cheerleaders, and how we should always try to support one another. So
Yes.
I do appreciate you supporting Beyond the Pom Poms, and obviously this is kind of what keeps us going, is women helping other women.
Thank you all for having me. I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, well, we can't thank you enough for coming on here and getting me to not be like a morbid, half-dead person. I mean, I haven't had any drinks or anything like that, even though I've been told I should. It's just.
You don't need a shot with me.
That's right. That's all it was. I just needed a shot of tea, apparently. Even though she's in Oklahoma. So it's going to be a new drink. Anyway, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. T, greatly appreciate your time. Selina, always a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like the videos. Go follow these ladies, like they said. You can find me. Just Google me. It's just Austin D. Jordan. That's pretty much, you'll find me everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it, Google Plus. So anyway, thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. We appreciate it. Have a good night. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thank you, guys.
Bye.